Hi, Troy Harrison, the Sales Navigator here. And today I want to talk about an issue that a lot of you may be experiencing right now, and that is how to troubleshoot the performance of your salespeople. I had a client a little while back who got a hold of me and they said, Troy, can you come in and motivate my salespeople? They're just not working hard enough. I need more effort out of these people. And I said, well, why don't you think they're working hard enough? He said, well, they're not selling as much as they used to. So in his mind, the fact that they weren't getting enough outputs from the sales funnel meant that they weren't doing enough inputs. Input is effort. So I came in and I took a look, and fortunately, this guy tracked activity metrics. You track activity metrics, right? If you don't, you better. And when I looked at the activity metrics, what I realized was the number of inputs into the sales funnel, in other words, the prospecting calls, cold calls, past customer calls, all those things, really hadn't changed historically over the past 3 to 4 years. What had changed were the ratios. I'm going to give you the simplest equation of sales achievement that I know, but it's the best one that I know, and that is this: quantity of activity times quality of activity equals results. In other words, the more you do of it, the better you are at it, the better your results are. But hold on a second. When it comes to quality, the real measure of quality of sales activity is how well that sales activity resonates with your customers. What was happening to him was this: his salespeople were making the same amount of prospecting calls that they used to, but they just weren't getting enough appointments. So that means one or two things. Either one, they're not getting through to as many prospects as before. Sound familiar? Or two, the messaging that they were using wasn't resonating as much as it used to. Also, that could sound familiar. And when I looked down the funnel, every ratio was off from where it had been before. So his salespeople were frustrated because they were working just as hard, but they weren't getting the same results. Owner of the company was frustrated because he wasn't getting the results, so he thought the salespeople weren't working as hard as they used to. Look, when you are troubleshooting sales performance, yeah, start with quantity. And by the way, this is why activity management is important. It's not just counting activities. It's not just making your salespeople fill out reports for busy work. It is a method to troubleshoot sales performance, and it is a method to spot seismic changes in your marketplace. In his case, what had changed was two things. Number one, he wasn't his salespeople weren't getting through to as many prospects because technology. That's a common change we've seen. Number two, his messaging wasn't resonating as much because his competitors had changed their messaging in such a way that it resonated more. So we're working with him right now to tweak his messaging and work with him on newer methods of prospecting, which, by the way, I'm going to have a course coming out on that soon. Bottom line is this: if you're trying to figure out what's wrong, if your sales results are declining, don't just immediately get pissed and say, my people aren't working hard enough. Instead, take the time to do a study. Look at what their efforts are, look at what the ratios from activity to activity are, and see if those are off. Now, if your ratios aren't off and your inputs at the top are, yeah, they need to work harder. Totally agree with that. But you've got to track activities to know this stuff. You've got to have good activity management. If you need help, talk to me. I'm Troy Harrison, the Sales Navigator. I'll be happy to talk to you and help. And if this video has been at all helpful to you, you know the drill. Like it, share it, subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you soon. If you are an owner or manager of a company, scan the QR code for your free sales strategy review.